I'm proud of myself, and I deserve to be. Most people don't deserve to be proud of themselves. And that's the truth. A lot of people say, oh, you know, I have confidence issues. And I say, if I was you, I would have confidence issues. Of course, I completely understand why you have confidence issues. You're a dork. But we have to be realistic here. We have to be absolutely and utterly realistic, because the world is brutal and it's harsh. If you're not proud of yourself, you probably don't deserve to be proud of yourself, so you're not going to feel happy. Confidence comes from competence. The reason I'm confident is because I'm good at everything. I'm good at everything I do. The things I'm not good at, I'm not confident in, of course. Yeah, I'm absolutely and utterly confident because I'm absolutely and utterly competent, and that takes practice and discipline and motivation, and you need to fail a few times, you need to get up. And like I said earlier, when I learned my entire mindset in professional fighting and chess, that's how it comes down to. And when people say, oh, I have confidence issues, usually I can look them up and down and say, yeah, if I was you, I would completely and utterly struggle with confidence issues, because the world is competitive and there's men like me on the planet and friends like mine on the planet, and you're competing against us for money, for girls, for status, for resource, and you're going to be destroyed and decimated the entire time. So of course you have confidence issues when you can be annihilated in real time by the competitor. Why wouldn't you have confidence issues? You'd be psychopathic not to. This is the thing that I don't truly understand. If I'm unhappy with something and I'm uncomfortable with something, I fix it. That's endless motivation, which I don't truly believe in as a concept, but that's endless fuel for the fire. If I was unhappy with something about myself, regardless of what it was, I would be able to take all of that discomfort and turn it into endless energy to get the problem. But these people seem to sit and say, I'm really unhappy with X, but then stay doing X. So I don't believe they're truly actually unhappy. What you'll notice if you live life long enough is that somebody will sit and say to you, I'm unhappy being a loser. Why are you a loser? I just sit at home and play video games 7 days a week. Like, okay. And maybe 3 days of the week, they're unhappy doing that. And that's the time they email you, and that's the time they want to make a change. But 4 days of the week, they don't really, it doesn't really bother them. It doesn't really bother them. Because if it bothered them 7 days a week, guess what?
They would fix it.
Correct. Yeah. So I have very little sympathy for people. And that's not because I'm not a nice person, but it's because I've been so hard on myself, and I've been through so many things that were difficult, and I've been through so much pain and trauma myself, some of it self-inflicted, some of it given to me by God to make me a better person. But I've been so difficult on myself. It's very hard for me to look at somebody who's refused to be difficult on themselves and see them as my equal or feel sympathy or pity for them. Why would I feel pity for somebody who took the easy route when I took the hardest possible route? I took the hardest possible way to be the man I am, and you were too big of a and now you want me to feel sorry for you? I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for these people. And because as a man, you can be anything you decide you want to be. That's the beauty of being a male. You can build your character completely from the ground up, just like a video game. Every single thing about me that people respect, I built. I was not born a world champion kickboxer. Not born this intelligent or intellectual. I was not born this rich. I was not born this strong. I was not born this confident. I was not born this interesting. I was not born this charismatic and humble and gorgeous and tall and strong and sexy. I was not born none of these things. I became these things myself. So I deserve all the spoils of war. And anybody who decides they don't want to work hard enough to become those things, then they deserve to sit and accept they're my inferior. That's their problem. You should do good things with any emotion you feel. What else are you going to do with it? This is a genuine question. What else? If let's say your wife breaks your heart. If you're not going to work, you can't sleep anymore. You're upset. She's running around with a new dude. You see her Instagram story. She got some new guy. You're furious and you're angry and you're jealous and you're bitter. You have all of this inside of you, but you're not going to go to the gym and work hard and become so fantastically in shape and so rich and so powerful that no girl ever leaves you again. You're not going to do that. What are you going to do with it? Text her? Try and explain to her? She doesn't care. You can write the most beautiful words ever constructed. She doesn't care. She forgot about you. So what are you going to do with all of that inside of you if it's not positive? Well, it's going to consume you and you're going to end up self-destructive, or you're going to embarrass yourself. Or you can take all of that and put yourself in a position where it never happens to you again. Those are the choices. So what's the most intelligent choice to make? I don't understand how many humans function in the world today. I don't get people who don't think like me. I don't understand it. I'm like, well, then how have you survived this long? Life is hard. Life is difficult. Maybe I've just been unlucky, which I don't believe in, but I've had so much trauma and bad events and negativity and stress and all these things that have happened to me. And I've used all of it to be monumentally successful. If I wasn't that way inclined, with the workload that God put on my shoulders, I'd just be in a ditch somewhere. I just would have killed myself by now. Like, I don't understand how people are functioning. If you're not thinking like me and you're going through life with any other mindset, You've been extremely fortunate that God smiled on you and allowed you to sit around most of the time doing jack shit, and you have yet to be punished for that. I could never have lived that life. If I was a bit lazy or I was a bit of a snake, or if I lied to people, I'd be dead by now. A lot of these people are just absolutely and utterly blessed by God that they managed to go through life with such a non-competitive mindset, and they still breathing. I don't understand how people can think any other way. I've spoken to dudes and like, yeah, you know, I had a bad couple months. Why? My girl left me. You've wasted months? You've wasted months? Think of how much God loves you to have given you the grace and given you the opportunity to waste months of human time over some chick. Like, talk about blessed head to toe. If I waste months, empires are going to collapse. I'm going to end up in a cell or dead if I waste months. I can't waste a second. Like, these people are just absolutely infinitely blessed, and their mindset is a product of that because they're spoiled children. Absolutely spoiled children. If you're going through life with any other mindset besides a hyper-competitive one, where you're capable of competing with some of the most dangerous men on the planet in all their forms, me and my network, and also my competitors. If you don't have that mindset, then you have to understand that you are spoiled. You're spoiled by your reality, because there's a whole bunch of people out here daily who fail. There are men out here who fail daily, and they have yet to feel the true consequence for it. They fail to go to the gym when they know they should have gone to the gym. They fail because they forgot their keys and it took them 10 minutes to find them. They fail because they replied to a question they got sent on WhatsApp the wrong way. They fail because they didn't smile when they were supposed to. They didn't say please and thank you to that person who helped them. They fail because they didn't say hi to that girl who's looking at them out the corner of their eye. They just fail perpetually. They go through life missing every opportunity and just failing. And somehow we've built a society which is so soft and God is so giving and so graceful that they still have a place to eat and somewhere to sleep, and they're still surviving. That shows how nice God is, because before this society, truthfully, if you were that level of failure, you would be dead. It's survival of the fittest, and none of these men out here are fit. Their mindset isn't fit, their reality isn't fit. They're failures, and they're just failing every single day. And they'll go, oh, but you know what, tomorrow I'll go to the gym. You've been failing your whole life. That's all you've done is fail. And then you sit and wonder why people like me absolutely and utterly outcompete you. It is so easy to become a top tier male in the world today because the competition is so ridiculously low. There are 2% killers like me, and everybody else amateur, head to toe amateur. They can't even pay attention to anything. They can't try at anything. They're amateurs. And it's really mind blowing to me because I've tried with all of my computational power to imagine having a mindset different to mine. And I just can't see a reality worth having. I can't see a reality worth living. I can't see how you're going to build a life worth experiencing if you have any other mindset. I can't see it. I've never met somebody with a fantastic life who did not completely and utterly believe in themselves. I've never seen somebody massively succeed and they didn't believe in themselves, ever. I've never seen somebody who just allows life to happen to them and become blown off course by some sadness, end up doing massively monumental and important things. I've never seen it. It does, and it's never going to happen because it's competitor. It's player versus player. And there's people like me out here. When that breaks your heart and you take a few months off and she ends up on my jet, I'm still working. You're still crying. You can't possibly ever beat me. I'll continue to beat you into eternity, as will my bloodline. You will sit and pay the price for the rest of your human years. Even your ancestors above you are disappointed in you, and your offspring for the rest of your lineage will look up and say, my great-great-great-grandfather was a loser because I broke his heart, and now we've been broke ever since. God has given me an endless source of power. And when people come to me and say, oh, this happened, I'm really sad, or my heart broke, or this bad thing happened to me, I say, good. Thank the Lord that he's given you this endless source of motivation. You're wasting it. That's your problem. But it's been given to you. Nitrous oxide has been given to you. You just have to use it in the correct way. So I'm the luckiest man in the world because all the bad things that happened to me have given me all the building blocks to become the most fantastic man on the face of the planet. I look at some of the most degenerate, stupid, ridiculous people on the planet. They all use drugs. It's not very often I meet a man who's completely head to toe, has his life in order, and he likes drugs. You go to a festival full of brokies, full of peasants and peons, full of people who don't try very hard at life, and they sit there and they idolize these false idols given to them by the Matrix, and they stand in a crowd full of millions of other people like an insignificant peasant and jump up and down, wow, Diplo, wow, whoever. Complete peasant mindset. If you look at these people and say, do you like drugs? Guess what they say? Oh, yeah. So I don't want to go anywhere near the peasantry because that's what it is. It's disgusting and it's peasantry. So that's why I don't take drugs. I couldn't sleep when I was broke. And this is where we're talking about the uncomfortable, of being uncomfortable and how it can motivate you. When I didn't have enough money to buy whatever I wanted, I couldn't fall asleep because I understood there are people out there that did, and I didn't see them as better than me. And I thought, why are these people who I don't see as my superior living an experience that I can't live? And it bothered me to the point where I could not sleep. So yeah, that was real. When you talk about suffering mentally, I don't really consider that suffering. I have had a very painful life. I still think to a degree I do, but that's self-inflicted. But I can't imagine living any other way. I can't imagine living in this idea, this utopian, every day, girls, drink, hedonism. It's degenerate. I think the only thing you can do that's not degenerate is usually be fight a battle or solving a problem. Growth. You need to either fight a battle or solve a problem to avoid degeneracy, which means I'm constantly looking for them. I'm currently in one of the largest battles a man can possibly take on. I'm taking on the Matrix, the most powerful people on the planet. So yeah, is my life difficult? Yeah. Am I complaining about that? No. In fact, I'd hate it for it to be any other way.